given that someone so much love to say, look, people do make mistakes, people do sin, and by being able to go away and you can make those decisions for yourself and being the person that isn't the one to judge. I think that is the most imperative part.
So I've spoken about like normative, but now I want to discuss the word that you say for judge, that you don't be judgmental.
Yeah.
That's the difference between judgmental.
Yeah.
One is judgmental when you don't even recognize your own shortcomings. Okay? But even Jesus judged. Do you know what? The very fact that Jesus died on the cross for us is judgment. Even in the Bible, Jesus overturned the table. Jesus has occasionally shown that he is angry, because of unrighteousness. And therefore, to be told as a Christian that you shouldn't judge, that is foolishness. Because if you don't judge, you won't know what is right and what is wrong.
What is right and what is wrong?
No, let me finish. Being judgmental is doing the very same thing you tell people. And that's why Jesus said, take the splinter of your eye before you take the plank out. There is a difference.
And what he also said was, please do not cast the first stone.
Yes.
And if you have sin, also do not judge other people's sin and the level of their
In the
sin.
context, when Jesus said to the adulterers, he said, you who are without sin, cast the first stone.
Yes, exactly.
Okay? But,
Are you without sin?
pardon?
Are you without sin? Because I am not.
What?
Are you without sin?
No, I'm not without sin.
So do not judge other people's sins.
But God gives us wisdom. This is why God gave us the Bible.
And it gave you the insight to reflect and to also appreciate that people are able to make their own decisions. We have the autonomy.
There is a difference between judgmental because, yes, God's thoughts and God's ways are not our thoughts and our ways. But God has given us a book that teaches us wisdom, discernment, judgment of what is right and what is wrong.
She talk about serious things like noodles.
So I would say to you, go home and pray about it.
No, and I genuinely...
God will show me if I'm wrong.
No, you can't convert them from
But God
on our side.
will also show you. If you seek
coming to
God,
the Arab side.
God will always give you an answer.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. And I genuinely do think that it's, I will never judge somebody for making that decision just because it's so personal and it is something between them and God. It's not between me, them and God. It's not for me to say you can give your opinion, you can give your perspective.
Judging is without love. When you tell somebody that you are doing something wrong, you treat them with love and care, that's not judging. When something is wrong, you need to tell somebody that's wrong. However, how you respond to them is what you believe in Christ, is to love them and care. That is why in the past people poo-poo Christianity because you have like in the past in the olden Victorian time you have the workhouse and things. They do it in the name of charity and yet they abuse the children there. That is not that, and also for non-married girls who are pregnant. They said they are being charitable to them by taking them in, and yet they did not care for that woman or the child. They just gave away the child who forcefully got the child either adopted or got into the workhouse. Now that is not love. That is not judgment. Judgment is saying you have lived outside of God's law, but we will help you through this situation. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? The difference is when you tell somebody they're wrong and judge them and ostracize them and not care for them, that is judgment.
So I think by not providing pro-choice and not being pro-choice, that is by doing that. But I think that is exactly what that is. If you do not give someone choice to govern and to live by their own.
Am I right? Tell me if I'm wrong. Am I right when you say pro-choice? Is it the pro-choice of just abortion or abortion and counseling? And maybe there's another alternative to your pregnancy. If at the end of the two alternatives, the woman chooses to have the abortion, then that is her choice. But when you tell the woman the first thing, your pro-choice means you go straight for abortion. That is not a choice. How can you have a choice when there's only one objective?
So I agree with you that there should be a level of information, and currently I don't know what's in place. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never gone through an abortion. I've never been in that situation personally. So no, I haven't. And I'm very fortunate in that sense that I've not had to make that very difficult decision that many mothers have to make for whatever reason, whether it be health reasons or that they can't afford to have that child, or they feel financially they would struggle, or emotionally they wouldn't be able to cope. And that's such a difficult thing for any woman to have to go through at any point in their life. I don't think any woman would ever choose for their daughter or for their friends or for themselves to be put in that situation. And I think that's sorry.
However, you can always, there are organizations that will help them financially, housing, but all these information are not given to women who thinks that their only option is
I think
abortion.
also we have to take into account the physical changes anatomically, the physical changes anatomically that go through, and the emotional side of things for somebody. And if you're talking about a woman, let's just say when your quotation was promiscuous and went out and did these things, that person necessarily isn't in the that gentleman did. But so what my point is that person really in the best mindset to begin with, to actually have to be a person that is being able to go through that physical change and to have to go through that whole process of birth. Do you think that's more damaging to society or to that woman, or do you?
We must actively, as believers, share the good news. And many people who are in that situation, being drug addicted, being subject to sexual abuse and everything, when we share the gospel with them, they come to know Christ. Yes, we can't do everything, but God has called us to be disciples of the commission. And therefore, there are choices. And you, if you believe so passionately, and you believe the love of God for you and for others, then go out and share the good news.
But I also have that much love for people. Yeah, exactly. I have that much love for people that, and even Jesus said, let them. That said, it's their choice.
It's true.
If they want to be close to me, if they don't, that's let them, because He loves them.
If that choice is right or wrong, it's according to God.
That's
the main issue.
and this is it, and that's something that's so personal. It's so personal.
Everything is personal. Whatever we do is a
And that's why it's such a fantastic debate, and it's something that really riles people up because it is such a personal thing. And the only people that are involved in that decision and should be involved in that decision, and an informed decision medically, is the mother. And between mother and God. But the father made the decision when he put his penis inside the vagina and ejaculated. That was the father's decision.
So these are both ways in it.
Yes. And sometimes they don't consent.
Melissa, you use the word.
Into the circumstances.
Yes.
But what it is, it's not.
So then this is also a massive debate. If you had, say, a 9-year-old child who had just had her first period and was raped by a close family member or friend or a random person off the street, is that morally, so where do you draw the line personally as a religious person? Do you believe that 9-10?
Where the life is begin? That's the question. Where does the life start?
Where does life begin? Exactly. This is a very good debate as well. Where does life begin? Yes. So, I mean, I'm not here to argue that. Sorry, 1 second. But what I was saying is, what I'm asking you, just for your own opinion, you can tell me, no judgment. But what would you say, for example, not just medically, say medically viable? It's not going to kill the 9-year-old or the 10-year-old. But what kind of mental impact and physical trauma is that going to then bestow upon a child? Do you think that that's morally right to then say, actually, it's a tough one, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Where does that line cross?
Can I respond to that? I'll respond to 2 things, okay? First thing, you say that it's a very personal thing, okay? But as believers, didn't the Bible say we need to die to ourselves? Do you understand what it means to die to ourselves? Do you understand?
I don't know what you mean, sorry.
It means spiritually we deny our sinful nature.
I thought you said die ourselves.
Yeah, we die ourselves and then let Jesus Christ live in us to do the holy things.
You know, when you say that, all right, as a believer, you're not really sharing what you really believe. You are sharing the worldview of being personal. You are not sharing what you believe because there is no dying to self. Okay.
I haven't shared what I believe. I have never said.
The way you're saying that, I think you did tell me at the beginning. Okay.
I'm just curious as to what your guys' thoughts are with regards to that one situation that I'm giving.
So I've answered that one word.
So would you let the child give birth, or would you allow the 9-10-year-old to have an abortion?
Let me what? First of all,
That scenario.
In that specific scenario,
can I respond to that?
you let the child have a baby,
Okay, can
and like either raise the child alongside.
It's not human being.